So the big question is this: what's the difference between a high value woman and a low value woman? Today, I share with you 5 signs of each. My name is Joan, Nwosu, and welcome to the Second Chances Podcast, a love journey in black and white. So today, I really want to focus on understanding or differentiating between what it means to be a high value woman versus a low value woman. These terms are not about societal standards or external validations, but about you recognizing yourself, recognizing your own intrinsic worth and how it manifests in your behavior and the choices that you make when it comes to relationships. So this is a term that gets used frequently and people often feel offended, but it's nothing to be offended by. It is just at every point in time, you may be displaying or exhibiting high value qualities, and sometimes you might be displaying low value qualities. So it's about understanding which one it is per time and being aware of it and being able to do things to reverse that or to work at it so that you're constantly in high value mode, which is where you want to be at least most of the time. So let's start with the high value. What does it take, or what does it mean, or what are some of the signs that you know you are a high value woman or you're showing up as a high value woman? The first one is around confidence, right? Knowing your worth, loving yourself, knowing that you're not afraid to be yourself. You're happy with who you are, right? You exude this sense of self-assurance, high self-worth. It's not about other people's opinions and validations. Doesn't matter. You are comfortable and confident in your own skin. You are happy with who you are. And there's just something about it. Men love confidence. They find it very attractive and very sexy. So when you are exhibiting high confidence, you are exhibiting high value attributes. So that's number one. The second one is around independence. So this is you having a life outside of a man, having a life outside of a relationship where you still are an individual. Yes, the relationship is fantastic. It's great. It's priority, but you haven't lost yourself. You still have that high sense of individuality. So you still have your own friends, your own interests, your own ambitions, your passions, your goals. They're still important to you, right? Your happiness, yes, the relationship is part of it, but you're happy with yourself. Your fulfillment comes from within you, not what you're getting from an external person or from a relationship. So independence is number 2 for exhibiting high quality values. The third one is around boundaries. If you don't have boundaries, it means you settle for anything. So being able to understand what is important to you, what are your deal breakers, what are the lines that will not be crossed, and being able to express it as well, being able to set it and maintain boundaries, healthy boundaries, not toxic boundaries, healthy boundaries, right, is another sign that you are a high value woman. Being able to respect yourself, to honor yourself enough to not allow anyone to cross or to step on your boundaries. So cool. The next one is around empathy and kindness. Being able to nurture, to be kind, right? To show empathy, not just to the person that you're with, not just to external people, but to yourself as well. So are you kind to yourself, right? How do you show up externally? Do you talk bad about yourself? Do you use negative words when you're referring to yourself, right? It's also about understanding compassion, being able to show that part of you. Men love women who are nurturers, who are kind, and women also love men who are kind, right? So it's being able to show that side of you, that soft kind of you, that compassionate side that puts other people first sometimes when it's necessary, right? Or being in other people's shoes. It is not a weakness, it is a strength. Another one, the final one that I want to talk about is the growth mindset. I'm so big on the growth mindset. You got to be open to growth. You have to know that you don't know it all, right? You might think that high value means you're this super intelligent who knows it all, but no, it's about knowing that you don't know everything. There's always room for growth. You're always open to learning and growing. You're able to take responsibility and ownership for whatever it is that has happened in your life. You're responsible for all the actions that have led you to the situation where you are today. And be open, forgive yourself, and be open to change. Know that change is possible, and know that you can go out there and find ways and information and people to help you to grow. So personal growth is so key when it comes to being a high value woman. So now I want to talk about the low value mindset, right? And I'm using the term mindset now because it's a mindset. It could change per time. It's not fixed. It's not cast in stone. You can take actions to change it, to flip it around so that you become more of a high value woman. So the first one is, as you can imagine, this constant need for external validation, right? Constantly trying to ask other people for their opinion. Constantly trying to ask you, even if it's, oh, what am I going to wear? Does this look good on me? Should I do this? Should I apply for this job? Should I go on this trip? Should I do this? Should I date this man? All that external validation is just low value mindset or low value energy, right? You have to rely on yourself. You have to believe that you have enough. You have what it takes. All the answers you seek are inside of you. You have high self-esteem about yourself. You don't need external people to validate you. If you do, if you're so influenced by people, then that's a low value mindset or quality that you're displaying. The second one is having no boundaries, where everything goes. You're constantly trying to please people. You're allowing people to step all over you. It doesn't matter what it is. You just say, you give a reason, you find an excuse, you make something up, right? You care about making other people happy than having respect for yourself and sticking to your own boundaries, right? You're constantly living in this fear of being rejected, fear of being disliked, fear of being ghosted, fear of being dumped, fear of losing out of a relationship. And so you have no boundaries. So lack of boundaries is just low value. The next one is playing victim. You're either a victim or you're a victor. Constantly looking for who to blame. Oh, it's their fault. It's them. They're no good men. It's the men that made me behave the way I am. You're constantly blaming everything in your life on somebody else or circumstances or the environment or the climate or the country or the government, right? Not really being willing to take responsibility, regardless of whether it's taking responsibility or ownership. Is not about laying fault, right? It's about owning that, okay, I allowed this to happen. There's something about me that attracted this into my life. There's a role I also played in the fallout of whatever the situation is. So playing a victim, low value any day. Not a cool look, right? So being a victim means taking responsibility and taking ownership of whatever actions you play every day. And I'm not just talking about relationships, I'm talking about generally life. Whatever that's happening in your life, take ownership of your life. Do not be a victim. The fourth one is around this negativity and being cynical all the time. Negative mindset, always pessimistic, always thinking the worst is going to happen, right? You talk about yourself negatively. You have a negative outlook like, oh, the world is over, the world is crap, there are no good men, there's no good jobs, constantly being negative about everything, and especially about yourself. It is so key, right? The way you talk about yourself is the way other people are going to see you. And that's where it starts from. So if you're constantly negative or you always see the worst in everything, it just shows that you're in a low value mindset. And you can change that. You can switch that to more of a positive mindset where you have a positive outlook on life. You have a positive expectation of people, of situations. You think about the best possible outcome, not constantly, oh, the world is falling, the sky is falling, everything is bad, constantly. So negative mindset, low value. The last one is the converse of the number 5 for the high value, which is being resistant to growth. You don't want to change. You want to stay stuck in your way because sometimes it's comfortable. It's familiar. You don't want to change, right? You're constantly arguing. You don't think that anybody can help you. You know it all. You're stuck in this. It's not my fault. Again, you're already playing victim. So now it's like, well, I don't need to change because the problem is not me. So when you're not actively pursuing growth, you're not actively pursuing new information, personal development, trying to learn, what are the ways I can help my life be better? What is it that I can do to improve? You. You got to be thinking about you. How can you improve your life? Because no one's coming to save you, right? So when you're stuck in your ways and just stuck in, this is who I am, love me as I am, then that's just low value, right? So those are the 5 high value signs for me anyway, and the low value signs. And like I said, these signs are not set in stone. If you recognize that at any point in time you are exhibiting some low value traits, change is possible. Just be aware of it and take actionable steps to be able to change that. If you truly desire to be high value, you can work on those traits or those skills that can make you high value so that you can start to operate in that way as your default mode. Everybody loves to be around a high value person, male or female. And it's important that you are constantly working on improving that and achieving that point in your own life where you're operating constantly in a high value mindset, right? You start to treat yourself better. You start to have a better outlook on life. You start to become more attractive to people. People want to be around you. So when men say they want high value women, it's not about your high intelligence or high. No. It's the traits and the qualities and the behaviors that you display that determines whether you are high value or not. So I want to encourage you today. Like I said, it's not about, there's nothing to be offended around low value or high value. It's just how we are at any given time. And it's about recognizing and trying to do better, because when you know better, you do better. Okay, so thank you for listening to this episode on the Second Chances podcast, a love journey in black and white. Remember, no matter what, never give up on love. Till next time, sending you love and light.